So a quick demonstration of punching one of the petals, and the really important thing is to get this fabric so tight. So the technique is to kind of get it in the hoop and then tug it around the edges and then tighten and then tug it around the edges again and then tighten, and keep that kind of process of tugging and then tightening. And then I am using a screwdriver because it's much easier to get those two ends of the hoop to meet, and so you know it's as tight as it can be with a screwdriver than it is doing it with your fingers. So I highly recommend getting a little mini pair of pliers or a screwdriver and doing that. So this is the wall. So this is the wall that you have in your box, and I've already threaded my needle up. I've got it on a 6. I think I've got it on between a 4 and a 6. But a top tip is to just experiment with the different lengths of the needle. You might find you prefer it longer, you might find you prefer it shorter. It will just help you get a feel for this punching kind of action, and just kind of help you get to know the tool, the needle tool, a little bit better as well. So just feel free to experiment and just punch away. In fact, start punching straight lines on one of the spare bits of fabric. That might help you just kind of get the feel for it. But anyway, I'm starting with the petal and I'm going around the edges and I'm being really slow, kind of exaggerating the movement. I'm turning over every now and then to check that I haven't missed a stitch. And yeah, slow, steady punching. I've got it pretty much at a right angle to the fabric. There's a bit of a lean towards the kind of front, the direction that I'm pulling the needle to, and that action of not lifting the needle off the fabric is really important. So you're dragging the needle across the fabric. And then one thing that I noticed that I do when I was filming this video is that I am using my left hand to push the fabric to make it even tighter. So I think I hadn't noticed that I did that before, but I think just that kind of pushing of the fabric up just makes it that little bit even tighter around the area that you're punching, and could help you to get those stitches to stay in. So that's another tip, but obviously be careful of your finger, don't stab your finger. So I'm just going around trying to get those 4 stitches per centimetre, but again, experiment with stitch size. Try them a little bit bigger, try them a little bit smaller if what you're doing isn't working. Experiment around that. But I'm just dragging and punching, not going too fast, and just going around the outline of the petal. So you'll notice in this video that I am generally moving the hoop around instead of moving the direction of the needle, just like this, so that I can keep punching kind of top to bottom, almost away from myself. I'm always punching in that direction, so when I need to turn a corner, I'm moving the hoop rather than my needle. So that kind of just helps you be a bit more consistent, I think, with the stitches, is if you're always punching in the same direction and you move the hoop rather than your needle to get the curves and the shape that you want. Again, just checking that my stitches are all there and I haven't missed any big ones. Now, my punching, I've been trying and practicing this for about 3 months probably, is nowhere near as good as Jugo's. But at the start, I couldn't get the stitches to stay in the fabric either. And they were really inconsistent, and some were really long, some were really short. I don't know what it is about the practice, but you just kind of get this feel for it, I think. And Jugo's obviously been doing it for years, and her pieces are immaculate, and the stitches look so consistent in size and so neat. And I'm nowhere near her level of mastery yet, but I have definitely noticed that my punching has got loads better over the weeks. So it is something that is not instant, and something less controllable about it than normal embroidery, and something more about the kind of just the feel of it, and a bit of muscle memory being formed as you just practice and practice and practice and practice. So I'm getting to the end now on my petal, and I'm just gonna pull that wall, remove the needle, and then cut the thread at the back, and then I'll trim the front bit. So that is me today doing a petal, just to show you again some of the tips and tricks and techniques that I've been picking up and learning to improve my punch needle. But if you do have any questions, ping them on the Facebook group or in an email.